Think of your last 3 close relationships, romantic or not. Did the people bring you more chaos than joy? Did any of these people dismiss or invalidate your emotions? Did they use tactics like gaslighting, guilt tripping, or emotional blackmail to control you? Did they need a lot of validation, admiration, and attention? How did they do with respecting your boundaries? Did you feel like it was an emotional roller coaster? If you notice a pattern of these things in multiple relationships, and if you keep asking yourself why you end up with friends or partners like this, the answer may lie in your attachment style. It turns out the way we form and maintain relationships is deeply intertwined with our past experiences, often leading us down a path of picking unhealthy people to love. Hi, I'm Kati Morton, and I am a licensed therapist. My goal here is to be your guide on all things mental health. I want to help you better understand your mental health, navigate dysfunctional family dynamics and relationships, and guide and support you in that process. Today, we're going to be talking about how our attachment style might lead us toward narcissists. Keep watching, and you'll get insight into how your attachment style might be playing a part in picking relationships with people with narcissistic traits. I want to take a minute to thank the sponsor of today's video, the Greatness app. Greatness is a lifestyle management app that helps us develop habits that actually stick. It was created by world-renowned behavioral scientists and is fully personalized to your goals and lifestyle. They have a wide range of habits that you can add and track using the app. Like I'm trying to drink more water and keep up with my journaling each morning. I easily add them in, select what time of day I want to do them, and it will even send me reminders to help keep me consistent. I have also personally enjoyed their mental health audio coaching, and I am currently doing a lesson on emotion regulation. They have tons of courses to fit whatever it is you want to improve, like teaching you mindfulness basics or improving your relationships by learning how to be an active listener. That's what I love about this app. There is something for everybody. And it's a far less expensive option for self-care. Join now and get 72% off of the 12-month Greatness plan by using my link, greatnessapp.org/Kati Morton, or it'll be at the top of the description. The first 100 people to use my code Kati10 will get an extra 10% off. Join me on my journey to greatness. Before we dive in, I want to tell you a fun fact about narcissists. Let's not forget, those who deal with narcissism are people too. So throughout this video, I want to share 3 facts that highlight the complexities and nuances of narcissism. And I'll also share famous figures throughout history who have been rumored to exhibit narcissistic traits. Fact number 1. Did you know that narcissists often have a fragile sense of self? Despite their grandiose exterior, many narcissists actually have a tenuous self-esteem. Their excessive need for admiration and validation often stems from an inner sense of insecurity and fear of being exposed as inadequate. Did you know Empress Catherine the Great, the Russian empress from 1762 to 1796, is known for her ambitious rule and desire for personal glory? While her accomplishments as a leader are significant, her arrogance and obsession with her own legacy have led to speculation about narcissistic traits. Let's dive into how your attachment style can unconsciously lead you to pick narcissistic partners or friends. And first, let me say, you're not responsible for what the narcissistic person in your life does. And I'm not blaming you or saying that it's your fault. Anyone can end up in a friendship or relationship with a narcissist. When I asked you to think about those 3 close relationships at the start, it was so you could notice any patterns. We want to notice if our past might be impacting our present. Not so we can blame or feel shame, but so we can help take steps in our lives to heal from past wounds that may be showing up in the present. Your past is not your fault. You had 0 power over forming your attachment style. And how you choose to navigate the present and what you choose to do with the wounds within you is in your hands. And that's why we're examining it. Whether we want it to or not, our attachment style, formed through early experiences, can influence the dynamics we seek in relationships, often without our conscious awareness. Quick reminder, attachment style refers to the way individuals form emotional bonds and connections with others, particularly in the context of close relationships. It was formed by our primary caregiver, and we carry it with us into our adult relationships. There are 4 different attachment styles, but the most commonly talked about insecure styles are anxious attachment and avoidant attachment. So let's discuss how both of these styles might lead to repeated relationships with narcissists. For those of you who have an anxious attachment, let's talk about how that might contribute to being drawn to a narcissist as an adult. Individuals with an anxious attachment style developed as a result of inconsistent or conditional love from narcissistic parents. They may be more prone to attracting narcissistic partners. This is because the unpredictable nature of narcissists resonates with our deep-rooted need for validation and reassurance. The intense highs and lows of these relationships can feel familiar, even if they're unhealthy. Let's talk about Betty. Betty grew up in an environment where her emotional needs were often dismissed or overlooked. Her caregivers were emotionally distant and inconsistently available, leaving her feeling anxious and unsure of their love and support. As a result, Betty developed an anxious attachment style. In her teenage years and early adulthood, Betty sought connection and validation from her peers and romantic partners. However, her anxious attachment style led her to gravitate toward individuals who exhibited narcissistic traits. She was drawn to their confidence, charisma, and initially perceived them as someone who could fill the emotional void she experienced growing up. Betty's relationship with narcissistic individuals often followed a pattern. In the beginning, she would experience a strong sense of infatuation and idealize her partner or friend. The narcissistic person would shower her with attention, affection, and flattery, making her feel valued and loved. Over time, Betty would notice a shift in the dynamics of the relationship. The narcissistic person's self-centeredness and lack of empathy would become more apparent. They would prioritize their own needs and desires, dismissing or belittling Betty's feelings. The idealization phase would give way to criticism, manipulation, and emotional neglect. Despite the pain and mistreatment, Betty found it difficult to break away from these relationships. Her anxious attachment style made her fearful of abandonment and rejection, leading her to cling on to the hope that things would improve. She believed that if she just tried harder or gave more, the narcissistic person would eventually appreciate and validate her. Before we get into how avoidant attachment style might lead you to narcissists, let's do another fun fact. Fun fact number 2. Did you know that narcissists can be incredibly creative and innovative? For some narcissistic individuals, their ability to think outside the box and take risks can contribute to groundbreaking ideas and accomplishments. Some people speculate that Pablo Picasso, the renowned artist and co-founder of Cubism, exhibited narcissistic traits. Picasso's tremendous artistic talent and creative contributions are widely recognized, but he also exhibited self-centered behavior, possessiveness over his work, and a disregard for others' feelings, which align with some narcissistic traits. Okay, let's talk about avoidant attachment and attraction to narcissists. For those of us with an avoidant attachment style, we often learn to distance ourselves emotionally from our narcissistic parents and may also find ourselves being drawn to narcissistic partners. The emotional unavailability and independence exhibited by narcissists align with our desire to maintain emotional distance and avoid vulnerability or closeness. This can create a pattern of seeking out relationships that reinforce our need for space and independence. Let's talk about Alex. From an early age, Alex developed an avoidant attachment style as a result of growing up in an environment where emotional needs were often neglected or dismissed. This upbringing shaped his tendency to be self-reliant, avoid emotional vulnerability, and maintain a sense of independence. As Alex navigated friendships and romantic relationships, his avoidant attachment style influenced his choices. He was drawn to individuals who initially appeared confident, charismatic, and self-assured, traits commonly associated with narcissistic individuals. Alex felt an attraction to his partner's perceived emotional distance and independence, mirroring his own inclination for maintaining boundaries and avoiding emotional entanglements. In the early stages of these relationships, Alex idealized the independence and self-assuredness of his friends and partners. He admired their seemingly unwavering self-confidence and believed that their own emotional detachment was a strength, aligning with his own avoidant tendencies. As the relationships progressed, Alex would often face challenges in forming emotional intimacy with his friends or partners. His avoidant attachment style made it difficult to open up and express vulnerable emotions. He resisted dependency and preferred to keep a safe emotional distance, which mirrored the emotional unavailability often exhibited by narcissistic individuals. Over time, Alex would begin to notice narcissistic traits in his friends or partners. The narcissistic individuals would prioritize their own needs, seek constant validation, and dismiss or undermine Alex's feelings. The behavior would create a growing sense of disillusionment and insecurity within the relationship. Let's look at our last fun fact about narcissists. It's my favorite one. Did you know that narcissists have the potential for change? While narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, is challenging to treat, research suggests that some individuals with narcissistic traits can develop self-awareness and make positive changes with therapy and personal growth efforts. Do you have a light on right now? Well, did you know that Thomas Edison, the inventor of the electric light bulb, was rumored to have exhibited some narcissistic behaviors? Edison was known for his self-promotion, arrogance, and sometimes dismissive treatment of his colleagues, which has led to discussions about him possibly exhibiting many narcissistic traits. So what now? What happens if you look at your patterns of relationships and spot a trend? Well, you've already done one big step. Recognizing how our attachment style influences our attraction to narcissistic individuals is the first step towards healing and transformation. And cultivating a secure attachment style is crucial for breaking the cycle of attracting narcissistic partners or friends. This involves fostering a sense of self-worth, establishing healthy boundaries, and learning to trust and communicate effectively. By developing a secure attachment, you'll be better equipped to form healthier and more balanced relationships in the future. Remember, healing attachment wounds takes time and self-compassion. It's important to seek support from therapists or counselors who can guide you through this transformative journey. By doing so, you'll be able to break free from the unconscious pull towards narcissistic individuals and create more fulfilling, mutually supportive relationships. If you want to learn more about attachment and how it could be affecting your life, check out my 4-hour attachment workshop available at katiemorton.com.